Here's an interview from one of our past shows on Rock and Metal Revival. If you're interested in hearing full shows, go to our Facebook page and check out our list of affiliates for times and places where you can hear Rock and Metal Revival. There's Zebra, Tell Me What You Want, from their debut album back in 1983, Jerry.
Wow.
And with us today is Zebra lead vocalist and guitarist Randy Jackson. Welcome to Rock and Metal Revival, Randy.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Randy,
good to be here.
It is great talking to you. Now, I can't remember how many cassette copies of that debut album I went through, but it doesn't seem like it's been 40 years since its release. Those songs still sound fresh coming out of the speakers today. You got to be pretty proud that music has stood the test of time.
Yeah, it's really hard to believe, and you're right. You know, we're definitely stunned by the fact that after 48 years, we're still playing, and people are still listening to the music. It's amazing.
So now you're out. You're going to play the entire first album on tour now after 40 years. Putting it out 40 years ago. I mean, which songs gave you the most trouble trying to recreate after all this time? Because I imagine you haven't played all those songs since.
Yeah, we played every song from that album over the years. We just haven't ever done it really in order from beginning to end. You know, usually we'd save Tell Me What You Want for, later in the show, but, it's the first song of the album, so that's the one we start with when we do the whole album.
Okay. That is awesome. I can remember back in the 1980s, you guys were all over the FM radio stations here in the upper Midwest, and I thought you received a decent amount of airplay on MTV. I never understood why you guys were the next big thing. Was that a thing where there were just so many artists out at that time, or you didn't get the support from Atlantic during that time, and that's what happened?
I couldn't tell you everything, that might have been the reasons, but I do know that when we released the second record, the No Tellin' Lies, we sent out the first song off the record that went to radio was Wait Until the Summer's Gone. And we sent it out to radio, and we got more than a handful of people saying they couldn't hear the vocal. It wasn't loud enough on the mix. And so we ran back into the studio and remixed it and sent out another version. But by then, it was kind of too late, because we were already, they pushed the album aside, and here we are just trying to catch up for lost time. And I think that didn't help us. Didn't help us at all. And also, I kind of think that it would have been a good idea for us to go to Europe, instead of staying over here for the second record. We toured with Sammy Hagar, which was great exposure, and Sammy treated us great. But in hindsight, we probably should have made sure we got to Europe while we were doing the second record.
Now, I remember your videos from back when MTV played music videos, and one of my favorite was Tell Me What You Want. And even though it's only in there for a split second, that white double neck BC Rich just always caught my attention. It looks like it has so many controls, switches, and buttons on it, and knobs compared to what ordinary one has. It just kind of baffled me. Was that pretty unique, custom?
Well, it was a standard BC Rich. I didn't have anything extra put on it.
Okay.
But they did have a lot of controls on it, and the fact that it was a double neck meant they had twice as many controls as the regular BC Rich. So that's why it kind of looks like a rocket ship, But, I never really changed the controls that much when I'm playing. The guitar is great because you can get so many different sounds out of it, but I think a lot of people just find the sound that they like, or a couple of sounds, and they stick with those. So I don't really end up moving the controls that much on the guitar.
Okay.
Back in the day, you were talking about touring with Sammy Hagar. That's the time that I got to see you live in concert, but I was always a big fan of the King Biscuit Flower Hour. And one of my favorites was the one you guys did. What do you remember about that performance?
We did a couple of them. I don't remember the one you're particularly talking about, but I know we did one here on Long Island. Did you say you were at one that we played at?
I was at. Well, I actually saw you with Sammy Hagar.
Okay, but I don't think we did a King Biscuit during Sammy Hagar, though. No. But, well, the King Biscuits always went smooth. We had our producer, Jack Douglas, in the control room for both of those shows. And, the recordings came out great. Jack, of course, is Jack. He always does a great job. And so that was pretty easy. We were, at the time we did both of them, we were pretty rehearsed, and been on the road for a little while when we did both of those shows. So when I listened back, it was like, yeah, we were on our game.
Yeah, for a three-piece, you guys just sound so huge, man. It's crazy. Now, I see your band website is thedoor.com. So
yes.
So I need to know, did you ever find out who's behind the door?
Well, I found out who got Zebra.com, I can tell you that. It's the Barcode Company.
Oh, man.
And they got it a long, long time ago. I mean, because we've had thedoor.com forever. I've had all sorts of people ask me to buy that, thedoor.com. It's craziness, from religious groups to contractors to, you can't imagine all the people. But, way back, I mean, I can't even think how long ago. It was more than 2 decades ago.
Wow.
When we got thedoor.com, but I tried to get zebra.com, but the Zebra Barcode Company had already grabbed it. Funny enough, they moved their main offices right down the street from where I am, like 2 years ago.
Oh, nice.
So there's this big building with Zebra on the top of it, and people are saying, "Man, did you guys buy a building?" I said, "No, it's a long story."
That's great. Hey, Randy, about 10 years ago, you did a show with the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra doing Zeppelin tunes. What was that like? That had to be quite an honor.
Yeah, we, I've been doing that show really for like 25, 26 years, and the show's always been great. Started doing it in around 1995, and did the Led Zeppelin along with Pink Floyd sometimes. We do the Pink Floyd show. But more recently, we've done it with Zebra, doing Zebra songs. And we've done 3 of those shows so far. One in Lafayette, one in Baton Rouge, and one in New Orleans at the Mahalia Jackson Theater most recently. And we're looking to do it again up on Long Island, probably out east at Stony Brook or something. So and it works great. The music fits right in with the orchestra, and we pick a lot of the Zebra songs that are more fitting for to be orchestrated. So,
nice.
I bet you Who's Behind the Door orchestrated has got to be unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and it sounds great. The players, the parts aren't so hard, and the players are always great.
Nice. I was watching some of the videos on your website and some from your live DVD, and you got to tell me about that Black Les Paul it's got no neck pickup, but it's got I don't know how you got that acoustic sound. Is that like a Roland synthesizer kind of thing?
No, I actually have an acoustic pickup on that guitar.
Okay.
So it doesn't sound exactly like an acoustic, but
very close.
But I get it as close as I can, yeah. And so I'm not really using the the built-in pickup. The pickup.
Okay.
The DiMarzio that's in there. I'm just using the bridge pickup is the pickup that I use for the acoustic.
Okay.
Bridge itself, actually.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Randy, in the past couple of years, I've been trying to reacquire copies of the first 2 releases, and I keep coming up empty. They're unavailable. Will they ever be available again, or is that something held up in legalities?
Yeah, it's legalities, but it's coming to a close very, very soon, and everything will be back out again. You'll be able to download the stuff on iTunes and rebuy the CDs and everything else. So that's all coming we've been working on it for a couple of years now, but I'm glad it's finally getting done.
Yeah, that's some of the best news I've heard in a long time. Because like when I was telling Jerry we were going to interview you, we're like looking for your music, and we're having
there's such a limited amount on like the iTunes thing and all that. Yeah, it's only an album or two.
Yeah, and like I said,
think you really got to go to YouTube at this point, if you want to hear the Zebra music,
Okay. So now a serious question: the song "Who's Behind the Door." You think that song could have been even bigger hit with some cowbell?
No,
no, not in the beginning.
I think,
with the mellow acoustic part. Yeah, I think
it would have. I had a cowbell behind me while I was writing the song because I wrote it in Texas on my grandfather's farm, and he raised cattle. And, the cows all had cowbells on.
Okay.
And the cowbells were just going crazy behind me. And I think it was like a message from above to say, no cowbell.
That's why.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hey, Randy, where's the best place for people who are Zebra fans who don't know where, what you're up to? Do you have, your socials, your website? Where's the best place to keep in touch with you guys?
I mean, of course, just like you said, the website is thedoor.com. You could go there. But on social media, for me, if you just type in Randy Jackson Zebra, those 3 words, and do a search with those, you'll find all my social media stuff, same thing with Felix and Guy, but Randy Jackson gets a little confusing because there's so many Randy Jacksons in the entertainment industry. So make sure you put in Randy Jackson Zebra.
Awesome.
Or Zebra Randy Jackson, either way. But
Okay, well, cool. Well, Randy, it has been an honor having you on the show. I mean, we've both been fans of your band for a long time, and look forward to being able to get those albums again. And you're welcome anytime you want on this show. If you got something to promote, we'd love to have you back.
All right, well, then I'll take you up on that, and I appreciate you having me on.